I don't know how to make games, but I'd like to, and I figured the best way to learn was just to do it. The number one advice game developers give is that newbies always try to make something way too big for their first game, so I just wanted to do something simple and do that well. I can do art and animation, but my experience with coding is limited to the digital technologies class I took for half a year when I was 15. But I was inspired by a building full of cats, and I commissioned some bees to make a hidden object game. These games are really fun, people like them, and it meant my art could be the draw card instead of whatever jankily coded mechanics I could have mustered. I spent a lot of time weighing up game engines, and then made the highly academic choice of Game Maker Studio because Nuclear Throne was made in it, and I like Nuclear Throne. I wasn't sure what I would be hiding in my game till I doodled this, and I thought it was deific. The prototype was simple, there is some scenery, then you click the goblin, and it's gone. I was really proud of this, even though it's super simple and was incredibly basic. My plan was to make the stages places that were really mundane to you and I, but goblins would find super exciting, so I waddled around my house with my phone and took photos of things for reference. The first stage is the smallest and simplest, the desk, almost a tutorial. It was easy to come up with the design because it's straight up my desk. The gorilla you'll see soon is the sick transformer toy I have. Hiding the goblins actually proved to be a bit of a challenge because the goblin's eyes and nose stand out so much. So I added some patterns onto the plant that'd act as red herrings, and I tried to stretch some of the goblin's shapes so there would be some harder ones to find. The last step to making this an actual game was to make clicking the goblins fun. I animated this hand grab with my mouse. It was just a test, but I kind of ended up liking how raw and cartoonish it felt, so for now it's still in the game. In my head, the goblins have the consistency of like goo, so you can just yoink and snatch them up and they're all fine. That doesn't really have to do with anything, but I just think it's funny. Rather than animating some dust being kicked up when you grab the goblin, I thought doing it with particles would be a really cool challenge. Turns out they weren't that scary to implement. I just had to draw a dust cloud, then figure out what parameters I wanted to vary, such as opacity, direction, and speed. Then you just kind of keep messing with the numbers till it feels right. I now had a video game. It was simple, yes, but also silly and fun. Since then I've added menus, music and sound effects, lots of polish, and as much charm as I can cram into it. And you can play this version now and try to find all 37 goblins on the desk. All you have to do is go over to the Steam page and download the demo. If you do play it and send me feedback, I'd be stoked. And if you wishlist it as well, I will send you a celestial high five. Massive thanks to Johnny for the feedback and motivation. He actually knows how to code, so you should check out his devlogs for Drifto too. I'll link them. Next, I think I'll talk about trying not to make the UI suck and actually getting the game on Steam. Wishlist grab the goblins, please and thank you.